Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. This particular story is called Refugees, written by Shane Bartson. Geordie held open the door. Welcome to the cat shelter. Knock it off, Penn said. I hear anyone, including you, refer to the Australians as cats again. They'll be relegated to the loading dock. Geordie led Penn to her new office. What about the Australians that refer to themselves as cats, or as, Nekomimi? What are you talking about? When they first got here, an Australian found an old manga somewhere. They thought it was some prolific thing that we would have drawings of them. Penn stopped in front of her desk and rubbed her temples. What have I gotten myself into? I'm supposed to be overseeing humanitarian aid for alien refugees, not creating superstitions or religions. I don't think they're getting religious about it. They already have a belief that future events will show themselves to artists, whether they know it or not. Good! I wouldn't want them to think they were gods or prophets or saints or something. She took off her overcoat and tossed it across the empty desk. Geordie looked uneasy. I don't think we need to worry on that front. Why? They got here and the first thing they see is, wait a minute. What kind of manga was it? Geordie looked away. Penn groaned. Great! We offer refugees assistance, and the first thing they see gives them reason to believe that we have perverted motives for doing so. I wouldn't say they think we're perverted, but they think that we are strange and they are, curious? About what? Don't be alarmed if one of them asks to see your body. They what? They find it odd that we wear clothes regardless of the temperatures. They only wear clothes when they need protection of some sort. Warm clothes when it's cold, camouflage or armor when they fight, and so on. Have you? Hey, give me a break here. None of us has done anything of the sort. These people are traumatized, and we're here to help. Sorry, that's my own bias leaking through. Penn took a deep breath, then looked Geordie straight in the eye. I apologize for equating young men with sexual irresponsibility. Apology accepted. And I apologize for immediately thinking that you were a ball breaker. It's awful to say, but I should be honest with you. That's what I thought you were when you first responded to my welcome. By the way, quite a few of the Australian refer to the ORC as a cat sanctuary. Ugh. Now that we have both embarrassed ourselves, why don't we show me the facility and introduce me to some of the refugees? I especially want to meet those with infants and young children to see what other resources we might need for them. Through here, Geordie led her through the door that opened to his bridge. I'll get your badge to you in a bit. Got behind today's schedule sending the supply of truck off to San Diego. Geordie hadn't exaggerated. There were a few Australians wearing a light blanket wrapped around them. A couple were wearing trousers with a hole cut out for their tail, and not much else in the way of clothing, apart from what the humans wore. They were shorter than the average human and looked finer of muscle, yet the way some of the young ones jumped when she got the impression were stronger than they looked. She had to admit to herself that they were a near-perfect match for Nekomimi. They had a semi-feline face, large triangular ears, and twitched and turned a long tail they used for balance, and a covering of fine vellus hair in the colors ranging from pale to deep blue, matching the skin color beneath. Eye color ranges from pale gold to deep green. The females had visible mammaries, 2 on the top, 2 smaller below them, and a pair of supernumerary nipples below that. The males, like Earth-based mammals, had the same number of nipples, without any mammaries. Penn felt uncomfortable. She knew they were aliens, yet something in her mind was on the verge of panic. I know that look, Geordie said. Uncanny valley, huh? You get used to it. Australian woman walked up to them, waving. Who's this? Aratarila, he said, rolling his R's, but she goes by Rita. Aratarila, Penn said. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Penelope Watkins. You can just call me Penn. Good meeting, Penn. Please call me Rita. Geordie said something to Rita in her own language, and then she laughed. Close. Requat. Being early morning. Now being Oraliat. Late morning. Who's teaching us their language? Penn asked Geordie. I teach humans, Rita answered. Norman teaching Australian Englishes. She struggled with the pronunciation of the R in Norman and with a big NG sound in English. Her pronunciation of the word Australian was difficult for Penn to wrap her tongue around, but she'd heard Geordie doing it, so she knew that it was possible. I would very much like to meet mothers and families with small children and infants. It is important that we get supplies they need." Rita called out to what sounded like a chirp, and a young Australian child ran up to her side and hid behind her leg, standing only as tall as her knees. "This being my, parap." "Son," Geordie offered. "Yes, son. Peter, say hi." He peeked her head around her leg. "Hi, Miss, hi, Geordie. Can I go play now?" Rita knelt to his level and whispered in his ear. He bounded off to play with the other children. She stood and faced the humans again. "Sorry, he's being shy." "That's fine. He has no accent. You said his name is Peter. Is that his name here? Does he have an Australian name as well?" Geordie cleared his throat. "Peter was born here. Rita was one of the first refugees." "He's only 6 months old." "They mature physically a lot faster than we do, not in size, but in coordination and the ability to walk, run, jump, and so on. At least in the first years. From what I understand, they mature on par with us after that. The 1-year-old Australian is equivalent to a 5-year-old human in terms of physical development. Mental development is more equivalent, but Peter is exceptional." "Peter's saying Englishes and Australian before Peter eyes open." "I apparently have a lot to learn about the Australian," Penn said. "If it's okay with both of you, I'd like to spend the day with you. Rita, get a feel for what works and what doesn't." That's fine with me," Geordie said. "Rita, feel free to show Penn around, and don't be afraid to complain about anything you don't like." He turned to Penn. "I'll get your keycard ready and forward the medical info we have on Australians to your comm." "Thanks, Geordie." "Yes, thank you." Rita linked her arm with Penn's. "Walking with me." "Of course." Penn noticed how warm and soft Rita's arm was, and how steady were the muscles beneath whenever she shifted. As Rita led her to the area where the children played, Penn asked, "Are there toys from your world that we don't have?" "We making toys," Rita said, pointing to a pile of feathers, beds, sticks, and strings. The children were playing with a broad array of different sorts of toys, made from the same 4 components. Some flew their spaceships, others baby-talked or scolded dolls, others played a game that reminded Penn of a cross between hacky sack and badminton. "Is that what you have always done?" "Yes, we making own toys, making places, Factory? Factory, making ships and armor and Talara," she said, making brand new dismissive motion. "Sorry, not knowing the Englishes." I think I understand." Penn's comm chimed as she checked the message. There was a long one, but she skimmed it and got broad points. "Rita," she asked, "have you had any fresh fruit since you've been here? What about vegetables?" "Sorry, not knowing those Englishes." Penn opened up an image browser on fruits and vegetables. She showed Rita as she scrolled through them. "Have you seen any of these since you've been here?" "They being foods?" "Yes." "We eating this foods," she said, lifting an empty emergency ration pack from the trash. "Okay, that's the first thing I'm fixing." She leaned in close to Rita and whispered in a conspiratorial tone. "Do the children like sweet things?" "Yes." "I'll try and have a surprise for them in the morning. Early morning. What was it? Requat?" "Yes." Penn sent a message from her comm from Penelope Watkins, Director of Oceanside Refugee Center, to San Diego Refugee Coordination Warehouse. Add to required provisions in amounts to match ORC population. Daily, fresh, in-season fruits and vegetables, eggs, honey, bread, butter. Weekly, extra strawberries, extra butter, maple syrup, blueberry syrup, waffle mix and base ingredients for waffles. Extra requisitions. 1 time 12 double waffle irons, Lego Classic 1,000 pieces or more. Any item from SDRCW. Have driver, comm, or director for purchase on the economy at director's expense. End of story. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps. Vitmori, Terran on Air, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Red Panda 121, Leslie 517, Bushmaster 177, Casper Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Lightsjock, Dragzoon WRE, Lord Azrakul, and Arcadian. Thank you.